right, we are live.
What's up, guys?
Hello. Welcome back.
Thank you for tuning in and everyone who's been supporting us. We've been getting excited because we've been getting more viewership and we've been sending these out to our clients through emails and people have been really receptive to that. So we're getting really pumped up that people are kind of excited about it. So
Yeah, it's cool. It's
yeah,
super cool.
we're especially excited about this topic today because we're going to look to talk about some of our least favorite fitness myths that we hear from other trainers or like fitness influencers, or some concerns that we hear from our clients that they're just concerned about when exploring their fitness journey. So it's going to be really fun to kind of talk about these topics. So do you want to talk about, start the first one with low calories?
Yeah, so one of the, we pulled up about 5 fitness myths, and the first one we're going to talk about is how everyone thinks that low calorie diets are the best diet, right? Regardless of what it is, low calorie, super low calorie is where you have to go. And this is such a myth because depending on you, depending on your body type, depending on what you're currently eating and what your diet history has been, low calorie is probably not a great option for you, right? Like, you have to eat enough to fuel your body, especially if you're coming into the gym and you're training and you're working your butt off. You have to eat enough to fuel yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So one occurrence where this is really important to eat a lot of calories is if you're getting in here and we're going to be pushing you in your workouts. So if you come in here and you have only eaten 700-800 calories, we always see this trend of people coming in not fueled and having lackluster workouts.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of fact that your body needs that fuel to really be able to push itself.
Mm-hmm.
So
and kind of going off that for a second, you need energy to push yourself during the workout, right? So if you come in on, barely having eaten anything all day, and you're coming in and you're expecting to have this great workout and push yourself and, hit some heavy weights and really try to build muscle, you're not going to have the energy to do it.
And not only is it ineffective, but it can also be dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, you see people really push themselves to the limits with no food on them, and it's just, you feel like you get dizzy, you want to pass out.
Yeah.
And also, with regards to building muscle, like, going on that low calorie diet restricting calories will obviously help you lose weight. That's a fact.
Of course.
But for one, it's not sustainable because if you're someone who like enjoys food and enjoys eating, you go on this string of low calorie diet, it will work, but it is just not sustainable because oftentimes it's like a wave. It's like you have your highs and lows. You might be sustainable for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, but you're typically always have that just crash where you're kind of your inhibitions will give it, and you will want to enjoy that food, whether it's Christmas or any holidays or the Super Bowl or whatever it is, that will send you off the rails, and it's usually like you're binging or purge type situation. And also, going on low calorie diets destroys people's metabolism typically, right? So
and especially for women, it can really mess with your
with
overall hormone health.
Yeah.
Going on extremely low calorie diets for extended periods of time, that's really detrimental.
Yeah, so if your body gets used to losing weight at 800 calories a day or 900 calories a day or whatever, like, ridiculous number, then that screws up your metabolism, and then when you try to introduce more calories, your body's like, whoa, this is too much, and then you tend to blow up. And
that's why people probably think that like low calorie diets are the best. That's because if you've been chronically dieting for months and months and months and months, and probably it did work in the beginning because compared to what you have been eating, you're in a caloric deficit, right? Because you're going low calorie, but you can't sustain that for a long period of time. Like, you have to have some form of game plan of like, okay, let's say you're gonna cut calories for a certain period of time, but then there has to be a period of time where you go back up to your maintenance level, just to give your body like that readaptation of like, okay, I can eat more calories and I'm not going to put on, like a crazy amount of weight. It's just, you got to have a plan to it. You can't just chronically diet for months.
Yeah, and so we find that typically the best tactic to create sustainable weight loss is mid to higher calories and increasing your activity, right? So with structured strength training and a higher caloric intake of good whole foods, you're able to fuel your muscles, fuel your body for your workout, give yourself the energy to put on that muscle, and then once we put on that muscle, then your body will burn calories more efficiently, and you'll be able to eat more.
Correct. you'll have a higher BMR.
Yes.
A higher resting rate of, your base level of calories that you can
Yeah, so just to give a quick overview, basal metabolic rate is the amount of calories that your body burns at rest. So someone with more muscle, their body will be burning calories more effectively than someone with less muscle. So typically when we see clients who have high body fat percentages and lower muscle, their bodies aren't burning fat very efficiently, but someone who is more lean, who has leaner muscle, will be burning calories more efficiently. So that's why you see like NFL players who need to eat 8,000 calories a day because their bodies are burning so efficiently. You want to talk about cutting carbs a little bit?
Yeah. So the next topic we wanted to talk about is that, it kind of goes along that same diet trend, is that, when you're wanting to lose weight, you just cut out all carbs, right? Like, don't eat carbs. And I'm sorry to say, but mostly everything that you eat has some form of carb in it, right? So when people say that they're cutting carbs, what they're probably saying is that they're cutting out things like pizza, pastas, rices, stuff like that, stuff that people think when they think of carbs. And while that might necessarily help you because you're lowering your overall caloric intake by cutting out carbohydrates, your body's primary fuel source for energy is carbs, right? Like, it's the most easiest form of energy. It's sugar. Your body's able to metabolize it and use it for your workouts and use it for your energy throughout the day. So while cutting carbs may help you lose some weight because you're lowering your overall caloric intake for the day, you might have energy, you might be tanked, you might not have, the drive that you want for your workout.
Yeah, and I understand the desire to cut out things like breads or pizza, or if that's a big issue for you and you're overeating those kind of heavy, processed carbs, by all means, it can always be beneficial to cut down on intake, obviously. But when we're talking about cutting down on rice or cutting out fruit or cutting out those good carbs that are a really positive fuel source, then that's just detrimental, and that also comes back to the idea of sustainability.
100%.
Yeah, keto diets are definitely one of those things that we see.
It's a craze.
We see people jump into it head first for even up to 6 months or whatever it is, see amazing results, be so excited by it, and then once that first holiday comes or once that first stressful day at work comes, then we just get right back on the carb train, and then you will see.
And then you just say, screw it, I'm done.
Yeah. So I know for my clients, and obviously we aren't nutritionists, so we can only give our recommendations and some of our tips and suggestions. But we find that sustainability and consistency and moderation are always going to be the way to go.
And it's I shouldn't say easiest, but it's the simplest thing for you to follow, right? Like, you don't have to cut out food groups, you don't have to go low calorie. All you have to do is move your body, eat enough food, get in protein, get in veggies, do some strength training, and be consistent with it, right? It's like everyone wants a secret sauce, but that's a secret sauce. It's not fun.
And I definitely understand, because it can be difficult to understand how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be a 6-month fix like keto or low calorie diet will be. Yeah. So it can get frustrating for sure if you've been hitting the gym for 6 months and you're still enjoying the frequent pizza and all that stuff. And it can be very frustrating that once you get to those landmarks, not to see that dramatic changes that maybe your friends who your friends are on keto or whatever it is. But it's just time and time again we see that this is the most sustainable, and this is really one of, I don't want to say the only way, but one of the most effective ways to keep these long lifestyle changes going for sure.
So the next one we wanted to talk about a little bit is that another fitness myth is that cardio is the best way to lose weight.
Yeah.
Everyone says it, Cardio is a tool in your toolbox, right? That's how I like to put it. There's so many tools you have in your toolbox to lose weight if that's your primary goal. Cardio is one of them. Strength training is one of them. Going for more walks throughout the day is one of them. cutting your overall caloric intake is one of them, right? So it's not necessarily that cardio is the best and the only way to lose weight. It's just a tool in the toolbox, right? And if you hate cardio, but you're forcing yourself to do cardio, like, you're probably not going to sustain that for a long period of time because you don't like it, you know? So I think just when it comes to losing weight, you just have to find some form of, you know, whatever those tools are and have it work for you in a moderately enjoyable way if you're not crazy about exercise.
Yeah, and this is not to say that, because we find a lot of people in the strength conditioning world will just absolutely hate on cardio, right?
Yeah.
And this is not to in any way hate on cardio, because we both love cardio. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I run a little bit. I like to go for walks. I know she loves like the treadmill and stuff like that. So by all means, I think that was the best way to put it. It's a tool in your toolbox. So it's a complement to the other things that you're doing. So say I don't, like last night, I didn't feel like lifting last night, and I knew I needed to exercise, so I went on a run.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Tool in the toolbox.
Just very similarly to cutting carbs or dropping your calories, it will, doing consistent and high intensity cardio will absolutely help you lose weight, without a doubt. You're burning calories, and
heart rate's getting up,
absolutely.
moving.
Yeah, you can't deny that. But again, sustainability. It is really, really hard to motivate yourself to get on the treadmill for 45 minutes to an hour every single day.
Unless you like it.
Unless
I have one client that
absolutely.
freaking loves it, and you know what? I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
right?
no,
It's
absolutely.
like, you know, it's as it is. It's a tool in the toolbox, but it has to be something that you enjoy and you look forward to. You know, at least semi look forward to.
Absolutely, and also we find often that if cardio is the biggest part of your repertoire and you're not in love with cardio, it can definitely has a higher instance of injury. Over a long term, we definitely see a lot of clients who maybe are novice runners who are just doing it because they think it's like the best way.
Yeah.
Then you get a lot of ankle injuries, not a lot of knee injuries. So just like constant pounding on like a jog or a treadmill, especially if you've never like really done structured running, it can be very difficult to keep the good form and keep, especially when you get tired. So that's also something just to consider. Over time, jogging can definitely cause some injuries, just like anything
if
else
you're
can.
if you're not doing it correctly, and if you're doing too much and not recovering enough, 100%.
Yeah, and just my last point with cardio, it is another thing when it's not coupled with like strength training.
Yeah.
Definitely, it can be a way to lose a lot of muscle. With that fat, you'll also be losing muscle because
if you're only doing cardio
absolutely.
and no strength training.
Absolutely. So, and what I've found with people who just do cardio and no lifting, they get that look where they'll lose a lot of weight, but also you'll see they have like no muscle and and just like
people want a little bit of muscle tone.
and just like someone who's in a low calorie diet, their also metabolism will be shot, so they will have to burn more calories to eat more, and so that can definitely be a slippery slope. So we're just always going to be proponents of a little bit of strength training sprinkled in to
a little bit of cardio,
another toolbox.
Yep. So the next topic is one of my favorite subjects. Is that if women lift weights, they will be bulky, and I cannot. I can't. I don't get it. I don't get the fear around women not wanting to be bulky, whatever that looks like, or people saying that if women lift weights, like they'll look manly. And I just want to say that I've been lifting weights consistently for probably the past 7 years, and I don't think I look manly or bulky. But if that's the look you're looking for, I want you to go for it, and I want you to do it because that's what you want to do. But I'm just saying that, lifting weights doesn't make you bulky. It just doesn't.
Yeah, so I think this fear comes from whatever this socialized stigma is between like women having all these like giant muscles, and like it's a socialized built-in fear for sure.
Yeah.
And when women see certain like CrossFit women who are in extraordinary shape, who have like
different level.
traps bigger than mine, bicep
they've got like 12 packs.
And I think just the biggest thing to understand is that the women who are in that kind of shape are just different.
they're genetically a little different, right? Like
these women are probably working out 4 to 6 hours a day, eating 3,000-4,000 calories a day,
probably
just
more.
pushing their bodies to extraordinary limits to get. So 99% of women in this country will not be able to. Will never see like. Size
like you know, girl, you go into the gym, 3 to 5 times a week and doing strength training for 45 minutes is not going to make you happy. You're going to look good, and that's going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
You should go for it, but you're not going to look like some elite CrossFitter. It's a different kind of training. It's a different kind of, honestly, overall lifestyle. They dedicate their entire lives to training. And I think that's awesome, and, all for it, but lifting weights doesn't make you bulky.
And this avoidance of muscles and strength training is overall detrimental to the long-term longevity of women
100%.
overall, because oftentimes when we see elderly people who have spent their lives avoiding strength training, you see a lot of issues pop up. That's why you hear elderly women breaking hips, having like horrible posture, and just overall lack of quality of life because it's something that they avoided for whatever reason because of society standards or whatever that is.
Or it just wasn't a thing when
absolutely.
I know probably for my grandma and for a lot of people's grandparents, like strength training wasn't really a thing when they were younger. So it's just really important for everyone, especially women, everyone in general, just to, muscle is not bad to have. Muscle is great. It keeps you strong, it keeps your bones strong, it keeps your tendons, your ligaments, everything nice and strong, so that especially as you get older, you can still do the things that you want to do.
Absolutely. And I think the last one we wanted to talk about was lifting weights being an innately dangerous activity, and it's a high risk activity. And it's for sure, I understand where this feeling comes from, because you have heard horror stories and you see people who have had catastrophic injuries, and I'm sure many people who have been strength training for a very long time come across small injuries frequently. We've all had aches and pains that would come from lifting, but this is definitely something that we find that will hold people back from engaging in it, and that's very unfortunate, because we found that 99% of the time, if you perform these exercises to your skill level and with proper form, it is such a safe thing to do. And obviously there are a lot of intricacies that come with strength training, and you need to make sure that you are aware of those intricacies before engaging in it. But I don't think that this is an unfortunate thing.
Yeah, it is. Lifting weights, I think anything can be dangerous, right? Like anything can be dangerous if you bring your ego and you're stupid about it, and usually that's where a lot of those horror stories come into it. People didn't leave their ego at the door when they came into the gym, You have to do things to your skill level, to, whatever modifications you need to make, you do it for what works best for you.
And it's also important to educate yourself before getting into weightlifting, knowing how to properly protect your lower back, protect your knees, and just doing things correctly. And that's where working with a trainer, or having a buddy who is more advanced, or watching proper YouTube videos, or whatever mode that is to educate yourself is super important. Or even if you want to stick to machines, I think that's a great idea as well.
Machines is pretty safe for most people. Like, it's not going to put you in a compromised position, right? Like traditionally, machines are pretty safe if you're just starting off with strength training on your own and you're not able to work with a personal trainer, or you don't have someone around you that is a little bit more experienced in it.
Yeah, and I just to wrap this up, I think that the risks of not strength training far outweigh the health risk of strength training, because I guarantee you, as you get older, you will start to feel the ramifications of not engaging in strength training, or whether that be sore, weakened bones, or just whatever. Like, there's just a multitude of different risk factors that come with not having muscles. So the benefits will always outweigh the inherent risks, for sure.
Agreed. And there's so many tools, and there's so many places that you can look to find guidance on how to do this safely and correctly. There's just
you just gotta go out and get educated.
Yep. You gotta take it.
Sweet. Do you have anything else to share?
No, I think that was a good talk. Oh, I like all these subjects to be so fired up.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in again and kind of keeping engaged with our talks. We've been really enjoying kind of sharing our knowledge and sharing our love for fitness with everybody. So, again, if you have anyone who's been interested in checking us out or just getting involved with fitness, please share and let's spread this message out a little bit. And please send any comments or questions that you'd like for us to address. We'd love for this community to become a little bit more interactive for sure. So keep it up, guys.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you guys next time.